New Boy is in the building. I want to thank you guys for being a part of this conversation. As I said earlier, we're going to do this just like a normal New Boy leader circle, but this one's going to hit a little bit different because the subject that we're talking about, it affected us close to home. We were the site, when I say we, Indianapolis was the site of a mass shooting, the most recent mass shooting in our country, where 7 young people between the ages of 12 and 17 were shot. Not only were they directly affected by the gun violence, we've had hundreds of youth who are actually at the site, who were in downtown Indianapolis, who are also affected by the gun violence. So without us really getting into what happened, I want to ask you guys a 2-part question. One, how do you feel about what happened personally? And then how do you feel as a young man between the ages of 12 and 17 that you can be a part of the solution? We'll start with you.
I feel kind of sad about it because today's world is really messed up, and I don't understand why we have to have so many shootings, especially in Indiana. And
how do you feel that you can be a part of the solution? Or don't you feel you can be a part of the solution?
I honestly don't feel like there's anything now that we can really do because of how many, how kids are, they don't really listen as much.
Okay. Appreciate that. Moving right along.
I feel that. My fault. I feel that it was sad that that happened downtown, and they should have did better. Not do better, but they should have bettered themselves on not like bringing guns downtown, knowing there was gonna be a fight and stuff like that.
How do you feel you can be a part of the solution? I'm not saying you can end gun violence, but what can you do just in your own personal space, in your peer circles with the young men you hang out with to be a part of the solution?
I'll say, don't bring no gun downtown.
How about not carrying a gun, period?
You're not carrying.
A gun?
Mm-mm.
You said don't bring a gun downtown.
But
You think it's just not carrying guns, period?
Mhm.
You think that guns are the answers to conflict?
Nah.
If you have a conflict with somebody, you think guns are the answer?
No.
If you happen to have a gun, let's say you happen to have a gun, and you get into a situation where you're arrested or you happen to be affected by gun violence, how many people in your family would you negatively affect? Or how many people would be impacted if they lost you to jail?
About half my family.
How many people is that?
All of them, for real.
All of them. So your whole family. So an action by you, a quick decision to engage in something inappropriate or something self-destructive, not only would affect you, it would affect your whole family.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I like that. Moving on.
I feel like, well, the way I feel about it, I'm scared to even go downtown or anywhere in the city without having to worry about if something's going to get shot up or if anything's going to happen to me or my friends. And I feel like the way I can be a part of the solution is keep raising my voice as a youth speaker and being able to tell my peers or my friends that we should do something different instead of going out downtown or to parties or something else.
You guys are an important piece of the solution. Sometimes when somebody asks you a question like that, it can almost be a loaded question, meaning there's not really an answer. I don't think you guys can affect the world right now, but what you can do is affect your personal space. And it starts at home, things that you might do at home. Then you bring that from home to the school. Then from the school, then you take that stance or you take that mindset into the community with your friends. So even with you guys answering right now, even though I know you don't feel like you can be a big part of the solution, or maybe you feel like your words don't matter, they do. Somebody listening right now will be able to feel you. So thank you. You guys are being brave right now, and I truly appreciate that.
I feel personally like I just feel sad that black on black keep happening when people trying to fix it, and how I could be a part of it. I can just tell some of my friends it's not worth it. It's not like worth it. It's not worth going to jail, losing your family.
My 2 young men, my outliers. I know you guys don't have a seat, but I definitely want to hear your voice. When you're one of our youngest voices on what I would call our expert panel, because you guys are experts. You guys are living this every day. What do you feel about what happened downtown in your city, and then how do you feel personally that you can be a part of the solution?
I feel sad about it because family could have been down there and could have been inside like the shooting and fighting. And for me, feel like I can stop it, like keep on promoting like no like gun violence and keep the guns away, and tell my family and my peers that we shouldn't just carry guns.
Do you think your voice matters?
No, not too many people.
Say it again.
No, not too many people.
But as long as you feel like it matters to who, it's important. Who should your voice matter to the most?
Myself.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you.
I feel sad. I feel sad about it too as well because it could have been one of us. And how I could be in a situation is like tell people to stop the violence and yeah.
Have you ever had a friend who was affected by gun violence?
Yeah.
What would you tell him if your friend was here right now? Or if you had a chance to talk to the shooters, if you had a chance to talk to the young men that were the perpetrators of that violence, whether it be the one that maybe was involved in a situation with your friend or those young men that were downtown 2 hours before the shooting, if you had a chance to be in their ear, what would you tell them?
Why are they outside?
Why were they outside? Okay. Well, so I think it's okay for y'all to be outside. I don't think it's right for people to tell y'all you can't go downtown. Y'all should be able to go downtown and experience a fun time. You should be able to go to Castleton and other spots where teenagers get together. So you were on the right track, but I want to know from you guys 2 hours before the shooting, if you know your friend had a gun on him, if you know your friend was trying to retaliate from one of your other friends maybe getting jumped or maybe some stuff that was going on social media, 2 hours before the shooting, you not knowing that there was going to be a shooting, what would you tell your friend that had the gun? Start with you.
I'll tell them it ain't worth it. It's not worth either losing your life or going to jail for the rest of your life over a split decision that you're going to make real fast and real sudden. And then instead of like retaliating, how about you and your friend just don't go, or you find a different activity to do because you know it's not going to lead into the right outcome.
I'll tell my friend I ain't going if he ain't bringing a gun. If he bringing a gun, because I ain't finna get caught up in this mess. Even if we downtown and he got a gun and we with other people.
So we just talked about how you feel you can be a part of the solution. I like your answer. I love your answer because if he's going to do what he's going to do, you might not be in a position to stop him. But what you can do is look out for yourself. And maybe if he's really your friend, and I'm not saying come at him in an aggressive way. It's constantly like, bro, I care about you, bro. And I think this decision you're going to make is not the right one, and it's going to affect you for a long time. So you really paint the consequences. Like, bro, you could go to jail, or you might looking to be the one to do the shooting, or you might end up being the one that gets what? What would you tell your friend 2 hours before the shooting if you knew that he was going to make a real bad decision that could affect, like Cam said, a 3 to 5 second decision that will possibly affect him for the rest of his life? What would you have told him?
I would have told him if I seen he had a gun, I would tell him either leave it at home or just don't go at all. Because if you go, there's like a 50% chance that you're going to get shot because of the way things are. And I would tell him if he does get hurt, it's not only going to affect him, it's going to affect everyone that loves him and that he loves.
I really tell them that it's not that serious. They might just do what they do, but we can just do something else. For me, it's not all about retaliation. It's about something else. That's all.
Not that serious. And is it that simple when you're in a situation like that? Is it that simple to tell your friend something like Jason just said? Bro, it's not that serious. You think it's that simple? It is that simple. Not saying that he will listen to you, but is it that simple for you to be that voice of reason in his head? Bro, it's not that serious, bro. It is not that serious. What do you think? What would you tell your friend, man? 2 hours before the shooting, you're downtown. You're not at home. You're downtown. He has a gun on him, and you know by what he told you that he getting ready to make it happen, what would you tell him 2 hours before the shooting?
I'll tell him that he needs to go put the gun in the car, or like don't use it. Like no, don't use it, but put it in the car and put it up, because you shouldn't have the gun down here, because we're just trying to have fun and not hurt nobody.
All valid points, fellas. Again, I think our kids need brave advocacy. They need people that are willing to speak on their behalf, that aren't afraid, man, to go against the grain. What I mean by go against the grain, a lot of kids these days are going left. You got to not be afraid, and you got to have enough self-confidence in yourself that when everybody's going left, you go where? Last question I got to ask you guys, man, because this has been on my mind for a minute. A lot of the news reporting that's going on in regards to youth these days is negative. A lot of it. I know social media, clout chasing is huge. Like attention is like the new currency. Like everybody want that attention. Everybody's trying to go viral. Do you think if the news started promoting, or let me rephrase that. Do you think there's kids your age that see the negative, that see the news stories that come on about shootings in our city? Do you think those kids, do you think there are kids that are out there that do what they do, not only because of the beef, but because they want to be the next one on the news? Like they want their shooting to make the news. Like if I'm sitting around, I'm like, yo, bro shooting made the news. So if you make the news, if your shooting make the news, now you getting more clout. Because we know the hood know what's going on before the news. So now your shooting makes the news. Do you think young kids are chasing clout by trying to get on the news by engaging in this youth violence? What do you think, Ding?
I say yeah, because they trying to be the first one to get famous and stuff like that, just to get themselves known.
Like that. Okay.
I feel like they're trying to be something they not. Even if they are, I feel like it's a yes and no, because some people just really want to do it for like the clout and just want to be known, and some people just to do it so people know that this is serious and this is real, what we're living now. So I feel like that's a yes and no question.
Okay. I like that. I'm on a different route. Yes, I got you. Face.
I basically feel like they just trying to be somebody they just trying to be somebody else. Like they not. And like, feel me? I don't know, ask that question again.
Let me ask you, I'm going to spin it. You're on the right track. What could the news do to put more kids in a positive light? Instead of giving so much attention to the negativity, what could the news do to shine a light on the positive things that are going on in our city?
They get how people be dying, they be coming to you to ask questions. They can like go to something positive like that and ask you questions and put that on the news.
Like a positive youth event?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? What can the news do better in regards to balancing the negative coverage that they give to the youth violence? What other things could they do to shine a positive light on youth your age?
Well, it's a lot of kids not just doing bad things, but like kids my age are graduating high school right now and college. They could talk about stuff like that, and also, talk bad about how it's wrong to be doing the stuff that people do.
So I like your spin back. You said they can start covering positive things, but really shining a negative light on the youth violence that occurs. Not just covering it, but making sure people know that is completely the wrong way to go, and making sure they put out the consequences. Sort of like, okay, if you were involved in this violence and you're on TV right now, when we catch you, you are possibly looking at 20 to 25 years in jail. Like, let's put that out there. Let's let the kids know who are doing that. When we cover this stuff, can the news, if they put out the consequences about what that event could possibly yield, you think that would stop some of the kids from doing some of this stuff?
Yes, and to your last question about the positive, I feel like every negative post they do, they should do 2 or 3 posts of positivity, so like it can at least match it, like how you said, to make it even. Because like you said, there is a lot of more negativity than there is positive. So every time they post a negative, they gotta post 3 positives.
1, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you guys joining this circle. I know it's not the best environment. It's hot, but your voice counts. Your voice counts, and we need to hear more youth voice. I think there's a lot of decisions being made in our city. There's a lot of people at the table making decisions for you, and they're talking around you, and they don't include your voice. This is one table, Chestnut Checkers, that we value the youth voice. I want to say thank you. 2 claps, y'all. 2 claps. Thank you.